scene. I hope you guys are doing well today. We've got a really cool episode that I'm really stoked for about role-playing GTA RP, which has had a big resurgence in the past few months. So we've
Huge
got
explosion.
yeah, we've got two awesome guests joining us. But first, I'll say hello to the awesome and ever sassy Hunter Wild.
I've been really working on my sass lately, apparently.
How's it
Hi,
going,
good
Hunter?
morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. There's so much to talk about on this subject. Because like RP's been around for a long time, an incredible long time, and it's taken so many shapes and reshapings and resurgences and transferred from one game to another, and people coming in and coming out. And there's frankly there's a whole lot to cover. Fortunately, we do have two incredible guests to help us do all this. Really, who are doing the intense heavy lifting of the show today? Curvyllama and MikeTheBard. Hello, my friends.
Hello.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves, Curvyllama, if you want to start.
A little bit about me. I do GTA streams. I do scary games. I'm a full-time broadcaster. Stream 6 days a week. People laugh at me because I'm bad at games and make fun of me a lot. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. What about you, Mike?
That's me.
I'm MikeTheBard. I've been on Twitch since 2012, full-time variety streamer, mostly doing GTA roleplay as well right now. And the occasional Twitch sings and music style streams. And yeah, love the roleplay. Good times.
Awesome. And you guys, so do you guys do like exclusively GTA RP right now? Are you still mixing in other games? Have you always done GTA RP?
Mike, you can go.
I will play, like if a new game comes out, maybe like a sponsored situation, or if I'm doing like the Twitch team I'm on with Hunter, Flagship Friday, we have every Friday usually. So I do take a break occasionally, and then Sundays I have community day where I play like marbles on stream and maybe a little more role play after that. But so I guess that's about 3.5 days out of my 5 streaming days that I do GTA roleplay.
And that's been like an ongoing thing, like that stretches further back into history, that you've consistently had RP.
I wouldn't say that. I did take a break after the first GTA. So going all the way back, I started with roleplay with DayZ roleplay, DayZ mod roleplay.
Oh, wow.
way back. Yeah. And I've been involved in pretty much every roleplay game that's come out. There was Ark, and we can talk about all of them, but I've played them all pretty consistently and then I'll also play new games as they come out. So that's always sort of been my pattern. But I did take a break. I took about a year break after the first GTA Uprising before this one.
Right.
Yeah. I took about a year break from roleplay. Yeah.
So, I just got back into roleplay. I used to play last year on the RP server, the family server. I did that for like, I think 5 months or about.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I took a break, and then NoPixel blew up, and that got my attention. And I talked to a couple of my friends that were on it, and then I got started on there. But I used to roleplay. I was like unofficial roleplay. Like, so I know like DayZ and Arma had actual roleplay servers. So I used to play H1Z1 a lot, like when it first came out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so serious of a game. So we, instead of shooting each other, we just roleplayed during BR matches. So it was like one-off role plays. It wasn't like a continuing story kind of roleplay deal. It was like this one character would often meet me. I don't know how he did it. He would like spawn cars in the game sometimes, I feel like. I don't know if he was a dev or something, but he would find me and we would just do like one-off little roleplay stuff. But so yeah, going back to the question, I stream that roleplay like I would say 5 days a week. And then I have Saturdays I play scary games. We drink and scared, and we do sometimes story games. I'm playing a Plague's Tale. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
That's amazing. I
That's
like
cool. So you
doing
do some mix and match.
yeah. Yeah. And I was into Apex for a while, you know, the Fortnite thing, but then role play is just like way more fun. So
Yeah. And I do,
It's just-
I really like that whole like in the moment role play stuff. Like that's for in terms of like what I would engage with personally. That kind of stuff appeals to me for performance's sake. And it's like taking control of that situation, like elevating it and manipulating it into whatever you want, whatever's going to be engaging too.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
I like the
Yeah.
unexpectedness of it. You just be walking
Yeah.
down the street and like, since the server sometimes gets scuffed, like 5 trucks will pile on top of each other and blow up. It's just like different random stuff happens
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, and I
Right.
think the cool thing about it too is like, so when you're committing to roleplay and playing on a role-playing server, like everyone is in on it, right? Everyone is doing the same thing. They have like the same, at least for the streamer servers, the same like standard level of role-playing. So like, it's not like you're role-playing on a server where people are just like trying to shoot people down. Like there's
Sometimes it happens.
yeah, I mean it happens, but it doesn't happen like you're not gonna just get mowed down most of the time because someone's driving around
can.
trying to kill people.
It depends. Like you're saying, like established servers that have set rules and strict consequences, and there's like an interview process and things like that. That's not going to happen usually, or someone's going to get banned pretty quick.
Yeah.
But if there are open role play servers where you can just join. Like anyone could just download it right now. If you had GTA, download the 5M program that you need. Jump in to any of these open servers at any time. Like right now, anyone could.
Yeah.
So it becomes pretty. It's more akin to GTA Online in those situations. A lot of times where people sometimes will just drive around shooting people, or while the admins of that open public server are just like trying to keep a handle on things. So it depends
Yeah.
on the server you're playing on. But like as you were saying, if it's an established server, then you don't have to worry too much about people just walking up and shooting you or running over you, and there'd be no consequences.
Yeah.
For sure. Actually, that is predominantly my experience with GTRP. I dabbled a little bit in it. I think it was like it was the last surge. It was like 2 years ago. I didn't apply to a server or anything because I never had done role playing. So I was like, oh, I'll just like try the ones that are open to everyone. And yeah, it can be a mess. There's definitely some cool characters. There's definitely a lot of funny moments, but I've been run over or just like arrested for no reason or just like shot for not like so but like to get into it though, it's like a great starting point to figure out if like you even want to do this. Like, and I think with streaming it, there's like obviously some extra challenges that come into play, right? Like what are some of these obstacles that you guys face when you're, as a streamer balancing streaming with role playing?
The queue.
That's a great one. Yeah, go ahead and talk about the queue.
Yeah, so you kind of have to base your life around the queue. Like some people their priority's so low they have to wake up and queue at like 6 a.m. Like some people I think queue like at position 60, right?
Yeah.
If you have like no priority, which that is like I think up to a day or two wait, I think sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
If they're lucky, yeah.
Yeah, because so how the queue works, if people don't know, I think queue priority is given out to season our peers, also numbers, right? Like Summit and Lyric, and they're all very high priority. They can queue at 1 or 2 and just get in.
Probably, yeah.
But if you are just starting or have no experience in RP, you'll have like little to no priority, so you'll queue at queue 60 or 70 when there's like 80 people in the queue, and maybe you'll move down a couple spots, but if someone with higher priority queues, you'll get pushed back up, and then once they're in, then you go down, but then someone else with priority, then it's just kind of like a bouncing game.
And
Really
this is
frustrating.
because of server limits, right?
Yeah,
that you have like
is.
really stringent server limits on
so
all of these.
I can talk to so going back to the Arma roleplay days before GTA, roleplay was a thing. Getting on the server, like it's to try to make it more fair. Back in the Arma days, there was 100 slots, but 200 people that wanted to play. So before the queuing system, you essentially just had to wait for a reset And then when it reset, you had to try to scramble to get in and just hope you got on. One of the
Be the first one to click in after that.
Yeah, and it's even that way now after the resets in a way, but there's also a priority system and a queue. But
Do you save your spot when the reset? Like, let's say you're in queue, because I don't know about that. When you're in queue and the server resets, do you still stay like position 5 or 4?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh.
So I don't believe so. So if you don't have priority, like right now with GTA, then and the server resets at noon, then you have to start again, I think, I'm pretty sure. And it does feel unfair. It does, but the major constraint, like Hunter said, is 32 players only on a server.
Mhm.
That's all the technology can handle without super lag. So there's no, it's not that, you know, they're trying to be so restrictive with these servers.
Right.
The technology, just like GTA roleplay was based on the 5M mod is based on single player GTA. It's not based on GTA Online, so they had to code all this stuff especially for this, and it was made for like one person, like one computer, to be in the single player world. So they had to figure out a way to make it not laggy with as many people as possible. And 32 is the number that they've been able to hit so far.
It's
It
still
was
working
even
out,
less
right?
before. It was less when we
Oh my
started
God, seriously.
2 years ago, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why the queue's there. It's there to try to give people a chance to get in, to try to prioritize. Now, the other thing about priority is it was 24, as Ginger saying, Chad. It was 24 when we started in 2017 with GTA. But they have to get police officers and medical staff, as they're called. You know, in the game, there's actual police and there's actual medics.
So like necessary characters that
Run the
have to be
world.
in there. So,
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they run the world. It makes
Roleplay
the
really
world-
isn't anything without cops, I think.
Well, yeah,
And
because
APs.
people would literally drive around and shoot everybody or run
Yeah.
people over or continuously rob banks or whatever other opportunities there are. So the police help balance the gameplay, and and the medics pick people up when they do get hurt. Like my characters are constantly getting hurt because I'll just like ride my bike into a wall or a parked car or something, and you get knocked out. Someone has to come and not revive you, but like get you back up, or maybe take you to the hospital and get treatment from a doctor who's on.
But
so
so
they give.
The queue causes a problem because of you're trying to perform, you're trying to stream, you're trying to, you know, like run a business or run your hobby with some kind of a schedule, and sitting there for, you know, a potentially for an indefinite amount of time. Like, you don't know when people are going to drop out in order for you to slot in.
Yeah.
That throws a major wrench. That's why we were bringing this up as like a problem, right? It's like that major wrench that gets thrown into what you're trying to do as a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
And is that just a reality that we face? Is that just there and fixed with that? And how do you compensate for that? What do you do?
I mean, you could play other games while you're in the queue. I sometimes do. Or I'll just wait. Luckily, I usually get in by 8, so like I don't know. I've kind of figured out a system for me, I guess. Also, you can tell when other people like are getting ready to go off, or like, I don't know, when people sometimes go for like 12 to 20 hours, like you were saying, Mike.
Yeah.
So you can kind of tell when they're about to get off, and you can like kind of see, okay, maybe I'll bump up because they leave or something like that. So
Yeah.
Get an idea of when you'll be getting in there.
Yeah.
For me, it's just been luck because I start, like, I have a set schedule, so that's kind of unlucky in a way, just the way that my lifestyle is set up with streaming. I have a pretty good work-life balance. I've worked at that over the years, but like if I don't get on so I start at 11 a.m. Eastern, and the reset is at noon. So I get a chance to warm up, talk to chat, and then we're in, hopefully. Like, I have a pretty high priority because I've been role playing on these servers for so long. I have experience, and they trust that I'm not going to just shoot everybody and all that kind of stuff. So that does get you a little bit of priority. So it's not the highest though. I still end up so when it opens up the server, by the time I click to get in, I get pushed back to like 26. So 26 people have higher priority than I do.
Wow.
At least. And that's cops, medics, and then other people for a variety of reasons. And then I get on. So it's the way my stream schedule is, it's just lucky that I get in every day because I get in at the reset. So I have the best chance at that point to get in anyway. So
like this is something you could structure and plan too, even if
you could.
weren't. Yeah.
You could, if you can, you know what I mean? Like
You could
if
if you can.
if the resets were at 4 p.m.
Right.
Eastern,
That's what
I
yeah.
wouldn't probably, necessarily be able to stream GTA roleplay.
So what are the problems do you guys seem to face that's unique to like to Loco's questions that seem to be unique to role playing as a streamer?
Burnout is a major one, especially right now. So, the honest truth is that GTA roleplay has been really, 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 really good for a lot of people that do it. It's been if you can get on and you've had some good stories and some fun interactions and things like that. It's moved a lot of people's careers forward or upward into the next level or whatever, however you want to look at it. And I think that, make hay while the sun's shining really is probably the best way to look at it, because we all know Twitch and Twitch careers and the roller coaster, right? So right now it's like a rocket
Capitalize
rather than
on
a
it
roller
when you can.
coaster. It's like boom,
Peaks and valleys.
like one streamer that for the last while now has more viewers than Summit when he streams. So it's like, why wouldn't you try to maximize that if you can?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to last forever probably. And
Right.
but with that, I see people that I'll go to sleep and wake up and they're still I'm like, how can you still be streaming this game right now? How are you not sleeping, eating, doing your laundry, groceries, and I think people do, relationships or whatever, but I think people do sacrifice, and we all do as streamers, but in different ways. And but I think people are definitely, I think that's a unique, because if you're doing good with a game when you stream, I think that's different than the longer I'm on GTA, the more possibilities are I'll run into other people and like cross stream sort of, because your audience gets to see.
So that works like in a networking sort of way, right? But like inside the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's true.
That is also a good point. So the community kind of builds upon each other. Like you make friends and now you're hosting each other. And we've seen the surgence before in GTA and it's gone down. So how long is this going to last? Like, that's why everyone's jumping into it. That's why you always want to be on to capitalize on this moment. I mean, it's a smart thing to do, but it's also very dangerous.
Yeah. And I mean, that's, not all, but a lot of success stories were about an entrepreneur that, didn't sleep for 2 years and broke their back and, got divorced 3 times. You know what I mean? Like that.
Well, unfortunately, those are the ones that stand out, right? Because the one where somebody just had a good work-life balance and then like did smart stuff and it just kind of worked out. Like nobody writes a book about those people.
That's a really good point, actually. But yeah, it's, I think, and I don't know, that's definitely a unique situation. I think for Twitch streamers, if they're streaming role play, they're trying to do as much as they can, as often as they can. And with the Q boss, like we were talking about,
Boss.
That's what we call it. Sorry, that's what we call it. The Q boss. That's like just normal. That's nomenclature. We just call it the Q boss. You get on when you can. You stay on for as long as you can for some people, and
because you don't know how long it's going to take to get back on, right? So it's like once you're in, you're like, I got to go until I pass out, I guess.
Yep. So,
but to touch on what Mike was saying, it's really dangerous for people's health because, like, I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about. Like, they stay on 20 hours, and it's like, for real, when do you sleep? When do you eat? When do you it's insane. But I think it's because people are afraid of like missing out on those really high numbers, you know, and that's so bad.
That's one of the universal hazards of the industry.
Right.
Yeah. And to even like they don't go outside, like
exactly.
I invited someone to do something because they're in the area, and they're just like, no, I can't. I got to stream. I'm like, dude, you never take a day off. Like, come out. And they just, I don't know. I don't know. It's so bad. But I get it. But at the same time, I really don't, because fear of missing out on role play or fear of missing out on subs or, my view count, they're going to watch someone else. And
it's a toxic mindset. I think it's like, it's definitely brought into streamers in general, but like, especially when you have a moment like this. I mean, when you go from 100 to like 10,000 viewers, like how can you like stop, right? It's like you put a huge, I feel like mental burden on yourself to just like keep going, to, like can't give up on it, right?
Yeah, especially if you've been doing this for years. If you've been streaming for 5-6 years and you're doing okay, but all of a sudden you're doing really well.
Yeah,
this
you're
is
like,
what
this
you've been
is
working
it.
toward.
Yeah,
This
right,
is it.
this is it.
Bam, I made it finally. Like,
That's
oh,
the
here we
idea.
go. It does drop away though.
Yeah, it does.
You know, just like-
Especially
yeah.
with the changing games. Because what I found is GTA
I
viewers,
did want to talk about that.
yeah,
Mhm.
GTA viewers are pretty much only there for GTA. Like once you switch, they are like, well, gonna go watch someone else doing what you were doing,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's really scary. But like, and it sucks. But I get it too. Like if someone's not playing what you want to watch, like you're not gonna go see a movie you don't want to watch. It's like you can't hold them.
Yeah.
I mean, I
accountable for
have,
not.
but I'm not
Well, yeah.
trying to.
You're forced against. But yeah, the FOMO in the chat, what Blue was talking about, the fear of missing out on viewership or whatever, all that stuff. For me, I took a week off recently for a cruise, and I was like about to get into some really crazy stuff in roleplay, and then I was gone for a week. And a week in roleplay is like 2 years because
Yeah.
like I came back and I missed so much stuff, and that story arc was kind of faded, and I was just like on my vacation stressing about like, man, when I get back, that's not going to be there. And it's
Interesting.
so-
So that's an entirely other level,
Right.
in addition to the standard one that we have of taking any time off at all and not being always on.
There are actual
You also have
in-game
the whole-
things
Yeah,
that are
the narrative
happening
arcs, the identities.
that you're gonna miss out
Yeah.
on. Like,
There
and,
was a
and
recent.
like it's just like
go ahead.
the thing is like it's a 32 player server, but how many characters do you actually know? Like there are probably like 100+ people trying to get in, right? Like
Right.
so in your character, you know all these relationships and stuff, and there's in-game events and just like so many different story arcs and intricacies of it. So it's like you're not only missing out on like the streaming aspect of it, but also the in-game like missing out on relationships and stories.
Mhm.
People have multiple characters too. I have 5 characters now.
Jesus.
So you don't have to log off to switch characters either. So if I'm on,
Yeah.
Oh,
So if you
that's
do
I'm
good.
on
You
it
don't
for
have to
10 hours, and you're
requeue.
like, well, I'm bored. I'm gonna go another one. And
Wow.
and the people in the queue are like, oh, just log
why?
off.
Yeah.
But yeah, people have multiple characters and they switch between them. So that's even more multiplication of stories and arcs
Yeah.
and different play styles. And it's very, very intricate. And like you mentioned, Loco, there was just a big race that we're talking about. No pixel GTA RP here. There's just this
that's
big
right.
$1 million race.
I was
And
watching that, yeah.
Yeah, because of my set stream schedule,
That messed
I
with the
couldn't
queue.
participate. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's true too.
guess I miss it. And everyone was watching that
Oh,
because it was
man.
really exciting and like fun and funny, but I just couldn't really participate because I would have missed
couldn't
out on
either.
some things. Yeah. Yeah. So
It also
you- yeah.
it messed with the queues. There's like an influx of people now, like really on top of the queue. Because like I said, I usually get in by 8. If I queue at
Mhm.
like noon or 1, I'll get in by 8, easy, whatever. But I did my normal stuff, and since the race was going on, everyone was like on top of the queue, and I couldn't get into like 11. And then the
Wow.
race was
Queuing
over.
is like its
and I missed
own
it.
meta element.
it really is a game in itself and it's so frustrating.
Okay, so what do you think are some issues? Because I'm stuck on some of the issues and like ways to try and like counterbalance. What do you think are some that are unique to people who are lower on the viewership scale, just starting out, as trying to? Because I'm thinking of things like how to manage, your hardcore dedicated RP time where you're not taking a break to thank every follow or to talk to every single person in your chat, right? With being on the higher scale as a streamer, it seems like it would be a lot easier to manage because just the numbers themselves sort of keep pushing themselves forward, and the fact that there's a large number of people there, everybody else is like, oh well, I guess it's dedicated entertainment time, I'm going to watch. Whereas maybe on the lower scale of things, people are curious about like, is the streamer going to chat with me, or does that work differently? Do you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm actually working on that because I'm really bad. When I'm in an RP situation, I miss up to like 10 to 20 resubs and I feel awful.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God, all of this. And so I'm probably not a good person to answer that. I'm still working on that. I'm usually on top of it all, like, because I've been, like all of us streaming forever. And I'm bad at it now because you're so into it, the RP and the story. And I don't want to like cut immersion and be like, hey,
Right, exactly.
Atlas,
Right. Yeah. I think you are muted. Yeah, you got muted somehow.
Me?
Kirby, yeah. Oh, now you're
just
back.
at the end.
Okay.
just Mike, you go ahead because I'm bad at it. So.
Well, I think that's
Oh, now
actually
you're
valuable by
muted.
itself.
Wait, what is happening?
I can't hear him.
I can't either. we're gonna go through the
All right,
process.
Hunter,
of-
your turn to get muted.
Okay.
Is it Discord?
Discord might be
I
having.
think it's just.
Oh,
there
it
it is.
sounded
Okay.
like I'm back. It sounded
Yeah.
like Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we saying?
I was saying that I don't think Curvy is. I don't think you're doing a bad job. That is the way it is. I think most
right.
viewers of roleplay now, especially now at
Understand.
this point, understand that that's the way it is because you're acting. You're in a live
Right.
play, right? Like you can't be like, so anyway, buddy, get in my car. Thanks very much for the resub. And by the way, last
Yeah.
week when I saw you, thanks for the tip. Blah blah.
Yeah.
Like it's not realistic. So I've learned over the years, you just let the alerts, they're silent on mine, but you just let them go. And then when you get a moment, you go, okay, guys, sorry about that.
Yeah.
20 things happen. Let's thank you. When you get just a moment, and it might be an hour.
Yeah, I feel bad because my community's not very used to that. Like I have
Right.
these long, like elaborate, unique. Each resub is like a different song, so like they resub almost for that.
Oh.
Like it really like disappointed myself because I'm like, oh man, that they're used to this constant interaction from me, and now I'm not giving it to them. So I'm sure I know it's part of the GTA lifestyle, but I'm trying to work on that.
But that's
Yeah,
like something that
shift.
it's very different from, especially if you've previously had a super interactive chat and now you're playing a game that is like very distant from chat itself, right? Like you're in the zone. Most people like turn their camera off when they're in character for the immersion, and they don't like interact with chat much at all. And it's something that like when I've thought about going into GTRP, or I've talked to streamers that are like highly interactive, and they've gone into GTRP and like they lost their core community, and they gained viewers, but like it wasn't people that stuck around, and a lot of their core viewers left because they were there for the streamer, the interaction, and that was gone. So it's definitely something you need to think about depending on how you want your stream to be and like what you want out of it. Like you can be a GTA RP streamer and have great success, but it's a totally different dynamic from if you're like community oriented, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing a hit from that. I'm seeing a lot of my my regulars kind of not disappear, but they aren't as active in chat. And like exactly like you said, your numbers, you could have like 2,000 viewers or whatever, but it doesn't equate to subs or hardcore people that will move on if you play a game like a story game or something.
Exactly. So if you're planning on being there, temporarily, you're like, this is something fun and really engaging and really interesting that I want to do and capitalize on some potential success there. Diving into it, I guess you would run the risk of maybe more permanently cutting away some of your core community. And even exactly what you're saying, while you have higher numbers, you transition out of it again 6 months later or whatever. And you've not only lost some of those original core community members, but you're also not carrying forward a lot of the momentum that you might have had within RP.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's curious. Yeah.
Yep. And I definitely felt that when I took like a year break. Like I was just burnt out on role play. I'd been doing it for most of my career, and so that was about a year into the first GTA sort of uprising, and it sort of slowed down. And I was like, it's not quite as exciting anymore. I'm going to just transition into playing other games. And it definitely took a hit because I'd been role playing for so long, even with the occasional game, but my numbers definitely dropped down. And it took a while to build up a community that was watching me play variety.
Yeah.
And now I'm back to role play. It's like, sorry,
Oops.
people that love the variety. Like, this is what
That's
I
a
really
wild
love
ride.
to do.
Get that
because
Canadian charm out.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like
sorry
because it's
about it.
exactly like you were saying. It's like it's like a role play is an act, right? It's like they're watching a show.
Yeah.
You can't really form a bond with a show because you're not talking to the chat anymore, and that's I don't know. That's why I get nervous because I see some people are like, I made it with GTA. I got lots of viewers, and I'm gonna stop looking for a job, and this is it. And it's like that's great because the money's there and the subs are there, but like you're eventually gonna, because everyone gets burned out on any kind of game they play forever. And then once you switch games, it's like I'm just interested in seeing if they're gonna have that success with another game. I feel like maybe not because GTA viewers are there for GTA, so
That's right.
scary thing.
And
It's
they
kind of
will
like
come
when
into your
affiliates
chat.
quit for
Right. Yeah. We were saying that it's like quick success for some people, like way higher than I'll ever get. Like just you're like, wow, you just started streaming. This is incredible. Like congratulations. Just be careful.
Yeah.
The drop will happen. But you're right. For some people that might propel them, it may be enough success to propel them forward. Not the same level of success they have now, but when they drop, it won't be, you know what I mean, like way down. It'll be enough to be a career. It could be enough for a career for somebody.
Some people that hold that many viewers, they'll get like a chunk of them still. I feel like with a good chunk. But
you'll get some because people will grow attached to you. Like, you know, as long as you spend some time interacting with chat during breaks or something. Do you guys recommend streamers that are having success in GTRP to maybe integrate like other content now, like to try to like prepare for that inevitable decline? Or do you think it's still fine to like hang on? Or
yeah, they should. I think they should, but I don't think they will because it's just it's really scary to even for me, it's still scary to branch out to new games. It's always the what if, like, oh man, I was gonna want to watch this, or no, it's a new game and people, or it's an old game and people are gonna. So I don't think they will, but they should.
That's that constant anxiety for that one,
right?
For sure.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. They should. They really should. Even just to test it. Just to, say, hey, let's just see how many people will want to watch me play this other game, new game or a regular game I like. Yeah, they should test it out just to be sure. Just even half a stream, just find out.
Yeah, to do well, and even then, that still gets so challenging with the queue. But I guess it's the kind of thing where you can, because you have to deal with the queue in the first place, integrating other games in or other types of events or other styles of content while you're waiting, maybe trying to use that as a way to capitalize on it. But I guess it'd be ideal in the other way around, where you gather your initial momentum for the day with RP and then try and integrate something in afterward. That would be the ideal situation where you're able to show some of those people that you do other stuff and that it's also quality.
That'd be a smart way to do it. Get those numbers and then say, here's more of my personality outside of this situation.
Right.
Let's talk to our community for a little bit so you can meet everybody, and that'd be a smart way to do it. Yeah.
So I do want to go over a couple of like just like the basics of like getting into a server and like kind of like making your character. So how did you guys apply to? You guys are both on NoPixel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what was that application process like?
Go ahead.
So I talked to Penta first and was like, hey, and Medi, and they both kind of Medi gave me the NoPixel application like, gosh, a year ago, when it was kind of like the fam RP got boring. People kind of like I can't curse. Like you flirted on NoPixel, I guess. It was kind of like the fun whatever. And I was gonna get in there, but I kind of slacked on it. And then so basically I talked to one of the admins and I filled out like what my character would be like and my experience, and I waited.
You have to make a character before you even get in. You have to kind of design a character.
Like a soft character.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what it would be. They would be like, and their
just
goals.
A bit of the identity.
Yeah.
Just a rough idea.
Yeah. I'm sure it was I don't know if it was different for you, Mike, since it was long ago.
Yeah, Coil opened up NoPixel and I just sent him a message because I'd played back in the Arma days on Coil's very first server, like all the way through. So I was just like, hey man, I'd love to play on the GTA server, and just gave me access at that point. That's just because I've been around for so long. And so I'm lucky that way, but it's just the way it is. And that he's seen me role play, knows what I do. I've been doing the same thing since 2012. Like with DayZ roleplay, it was actually more like what Curvy was saying before, where I just walk around when I saw somebody in DayZ, I'd try to get them have them not shoot me by singing to them, like that kind of stuff. So it's, I've been just singing and rapping and making up crazy characters for years. So Coil's like, yeah, here's, we know you're going to be okay. But they really do have to have that application process because anybody can apply. So, you know, they need to ensure that somebody's not a troll, stream sniper. You know, they do their best to do a little bit of background investigation first, which I think is really important. It creates a quality community and environment within roleplay because, like I said, even right now you can download 5M and anyone can join these open servers pretty much, and do whatever you want, say whatever you want. So sometimes if I jump on those random servers because I can't get on NoPixel or something like that, people say some bad stuff, you know. So being on a server that does that background, and some people are like, I don't want to fill out an application, I don't want to do it. So, some servers have interviews, like a Coil's server for Arma, you had to talk to someone on TeamSpeak, like you had an interview to prove that you read the rules, to prove that you understood what roleplay was and how it worked.
That's interesting.
And if you didn't have any idea what was going on, they're like, well, just go back and read the webpage again like you were supposed to, and come back when you're ready and we'll do another interview.
I'm actually surprised like NoPixel isn't as serious as that, like, or as like a lengthy process like that, because of how popular it is.
Well, I think that's why they had to cut down, because they had like thousands of applications.
The time commitment to just
Right, that's true. But so like, do you have to be a streamer to get in, or how valuable is being a streamer to be on the server at all?
It's definitely valuable. I think it's more like credit behind, you know, this random person versus someone with a face.
Yeah, exactly. It just because you can prove things about yourself, you know what I mean? That you know, oh, you've been streaming for years, you have a community.
You have something on the line. Like you don't. You're much less likely to be able
you're not
to
anonymous. You didn't just make up a username and that's who you're saying you are. Yeah, so it does give you a little bit of credit for that, but it's needed, and the really good servers, I feel, have applications and take it seriously. Yeah.
Okay. And then so you design a character.
Yeah.
Then you have to go into the game and actually like form that character. So what is the process of like writing down like a story to creating the physical character in game?
It's up to everyone. Does it differently, I think. There's some streamers who will, I know, that will write this massive backstory and like have plot points ready that they want to do. Okay, next week, this story arc is going to happen, and we're going to make. I have a plan. I know where on the map I'm going to do the scene, and honestly, and they'll have music ready. They'll have
like
music ready,
storyboarding it out, and
they'll have music ready. They'll have overlays, special overlays for different scenes.
That sounds fun.
Some people go to that level, and it's amazing.
That's
amazing to watch.
Interesting.
And then other people like myself just wing it. Just pure improv. That's to me, improv is my life. I love improv. So I actually get the chat to help me make the character when I'm making my character.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm like, so what should we name this one? Like, I might have a rough idea, maybe. Like, I want this character to do this. What name? What should they look like? What traits should we have? What kind of voice should I use? And then we'll just sort of suss it out in chat and then push that forward. So, but other people will do some serious work. It's incredible. Yeah, the variety of ways to do that.
Are there any rules or guidelines to making a character?
Lots.
You want to highlight some of those?
You can't. It depends on the server. Some servers don't, but the more closed ones do. A lot of them you're not allowed to imitate. You're not supposed to use a real life figure as your character. Some people bend that a little bit, and it's still pretty funny, but you're not supposed to be like X celebrity in the game. So like my Hubcap Jones singer character is very clearly Ozzy Osbourne, but he's not. You know what I mean? Like it's not Ozzy Osbourne, but you know, has a little bit of the same, and has a wife named Karen instead of Sharon, but you can't be that name. You can't choose a real person or a real name as the name, and you've got to make it a little bit different. That's one of the major ones, and obviously nothing. Well, maybe not obviously, but nothing offensive in any way. And usually they will cite Twitch's TOS. They really keep a lot of these, like, or other stream sites. They keep the TOS of the platforms that a lot of people are on in mind, and you have to follow those on top of their rules.
Yeah.
As well with character creation. Yeah.
Okay. What else? I see that you've written down permadeath of characters. Have you guys died in Twitch or GTRP?
No, I've never permanent a character.
Yeah, I haven't. I've sent a character to a coma because I was going for out of vacation for a week, so it kind of just fell into place. Like I didn't plan it. It kind of the accident happened.
Accidental coma.
Well, we like flew off of a bridge on a motorcycle and crashed.
God.
Yeah, and it was towards the end of my stream anyways, and I was kind of like, man, I'm gonna be gone for a week. I need an excuse. Like, what am I gonna do? And then that happened. It was it was like a highway, one of those like overpasses that turn, and we launched off, and I just kind of RP'd like, she's slipping, she's into a coma, and she's not breathing and not responsive and stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I've never permed anybody though.
Yeah. There's been over the last few days, there's been a few like high profile permas, and it really does. It's incredible. It's almost like a role playing game, but RPG like Skyrim or something like an event happens and it changes everything. Like everybody talks about it. It changes everybody else's story. It's really incredible. The butterfly effect that continuously happens.
This is actually like a second life. Like
yeah. So it's permadeath. But like permadeath means you will probably never ever play that character again. They're just got you make that decision. Most servers have a rule that someone can't make that decision for you, like a cop or a medic can't be like, oh, they're dead, and you're,
like that's how
you're like, wait a minute, I don't want to be dead.
I had 3 months of story arc here.
Yeah. So, but people do like sometimes they'll do a short run character where it was planned for them to permadeath them after like a stream or 2 or 3 streams. Just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what are
That's
like
weird.
some basic mistakes or common mistakes that people make getting into RP?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, what commonly winds people up getting banned or suspended from servers?
They feel like they can do whatever they want, pretty much. Like go get a gun somehow and shoot someone, or what is it called? I guess it's called like fail RP, I guess, when you just kind of like if Mike and I were talking in the apartment parking lot and someone just comes up and is like, hey guys, and
just
we're dead.
You.
That's kind of like, well, what was the reason for that? And then there's like a quality of life thing, right? Like if you really value your life, you wouldn't, if someone's pointing 3 guns at you and then you're like, well, I'm going to take them all out with a pistol. It's like, I don't know. That's that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. People are saying in chat RDM. So that's fail RP.
Oh, RDMs, yeah.
They're both fail RP and RDM. RDM, random death match. That's a really, really old term, but that essentially means just in VDM, which is vehicle deathmatch. Yeah, and valuing your life,
causing chaos.
Exactly. Just driving over people. You can, but you'll probably get banned. I mean, there's different situations where maybe that was appropriate for roleplay somehow, but usually not.
Or it's the character sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Power gaming is a big one. So if you're like, hey, I have this bomb in my hands and I'm going to blow everyone up, but there's no bomb mechanic in the game. And like, you're trying to force people to do things that just have nothing. You can't just say I have a bomb strapped to me and you have to do everything I want or else. That's power gaming, and there's all these different terms and rules. So really, it's just people who don't read the rules or respect the rules, one or the other.
Or winning RP. That's
I
hate that.
What is that?
That's a real problem.
You're in a situation and like there's like a lot of situations where you're gonna lose RP. Like you're gonna be on the losing end of that situation. Like maybe you'll die instead of the other person, or you'll get robbed, or you'll lose something. But some people don't want to lose, so they're like, I'm gonna push it until I'm the one on top, or they
don't accept that loss.
Yeah
they
don't take the L, as they say. They push for that's not fun because it's a give and go RP.
Right.
Exactly. It's an ongoing story, and there's no point to win. You're going to be back again tomorrow. I mean,
yeah.
And I assume metagaming elements is also a mistake that probably newer people make.
Huge.
And
And that's interesting with streaming too, because Twitch chat, like, I often see in these GTRP streams where something happens and Twitch chat is feeding information about what's
Right.
happening outside your stream.
right.
You will actually get in trouble from the administration of the servers if that's happening and you're not trying to curb it, or if you use that information in the game. That's the big offense, is if my chat's telling me, hey, I know you want to go rob so-and-so, they're at the bank right now. And I'm like,
Yeah.
sweet. And I take my character there and rob them. I can get banned for that because that's metagaming. So that's been a big problem. And stream sniping. Yeah, if I'm watching their stream, like, oh, they're over there.
Right.
That's huge. It's that will get you, if they can prove it, that'll get you banned for sure.
Dang.
Basically, if your character doesn't see it or someone doesn't tell your character about it, then you can't use it.
Can't use
Yeah.
outside information.
Yeah. Within or there's a little gray area, but you're not really supposed to talk to people outside of the game either. Like in Discord, be like, hey, meet me here in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's gray because sometimes if it's an event or something, you're trying to
If it's an
coordinate
event,
things.
right? But if it's like
Yeah.
a huge story arc, it's going to change something. Then it's like, oh,
Yeah,
that should
'cause
happen naturally.
Right. It ruins it. It ruins the realness of the role play, right? So yeah, that all of that is taken into consideration, and you really have to know that ahead of time or you'll get banned for sure.
So like if you want to stream it, like you need to have moderation set up. Like you can't just let your
Well,
chat fill with
I see
meta
a lot
gaming?
of people that there's a lot of meta, and
Mm-hmm.
the streamer doesn't really do anything about it. And I'm
Yeah.
just, I almost can't sit in the chat. I'm like, oh, I feel dirty just being here.
Yeah.
It depends on the streamer. Like again,
Yeah.
it's they can't force you to make your mods, purge everything, but they, if you're using that information, that's, like I said, the big offense.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So if that's your stream style where your chat is allowed to flow freely anyway, okay, that's probably fine. But as long as you're not
That's
going,
just a burden
oh,
on
they're
you as
over
the
there at the
streamer.
bank and I'm just going to drive there and
Yeah.
shoot them, that's
It's really hard to prove it, disprove
It
that you
is.
haven't seen the
right.
bunch of lines moving up saying like they're here, do
Yeah.
this.
So it is
It's
better
true,
if you
that gets
do have,
complicated.
if you have mods, it helps your own case if you get into trouble.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, my mods were timing that stuff out. I didn't see any of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious. This is one that I failed at asking at the beginning. What the hell accounts for the huge explosion more recently in GTA RP? Where
Was
did that come
it-
from?
Big
Was it-
streamers?
Yeah, was it Lyric and Summit jumped on again, and
Yeah.
that just brought, I guess it was just a really good time. The characters currently like kind of meshed with them, and
Yeah.
there's so many good ones on NoPixel. Like
Oh, incredible. And there's been
Seer
there's been-
is the funniest
Seer.
person ever.
I love Seer.
Yeah, or like Sentry, they're all just
Sentry, yeah.
Great.
There's amazing people, but yeah, that's what rekindled it was Lyric and Summit both. I think the same day. I don't know if they coordinated it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a
so it's
same
like
day,
the
wasn't
big streamer like draw kind of a thing initially, and then it was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I guess I'll do it. Get back into it again. Some of the more talented people who may have temporarily moved on to something else, and then you get that reinvigoration, and that keeps the ball rolling. That kind of a thing.
I think like
Yeah.
there was a lot of these streamers that they were just doing it. They've always been doing it for years. And then like
Yeah.
someone at Lyric
back.
got into these intricate
Right.
storylines with these amazing characters. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden they're flocking to those people's streams and now they're
That's
hooked,
interesting.
right?
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like Lyric and
absolutely.
Summit have like, or like true like what Twitch chat is, right? Like kind of, and now Twitch chat is just attached to GTA. So I don't think they're leaving anytime soon. I don't know.
Mm.
Kind of
Yeah.
GTA has their hooks in them, I think.
I mean, Lyric
Mhm.
Lyric has been role playing as long as I have, longer, I think.
Yeah.
That's how I ran into Lyric in a game that sort of gave my channel a boost originally, like over 6 years ago, was running into Lyric in Arma 3 role play. And but yeah, Bike Man was another person that really got me into the whole role play thing, because he used to go around Daisy and I'd be crying laughing watching Bike Man just do his thing in Daisy. So I think when the larger streamers, the higher number of viewers streamers get into role play, it really shows how fun and diverse it can be, and then I think it does get people hooked for sure. So
Yeah.
when Lyric and Summit came back, I think that's what. And I did the same thing. Someone in my chat was like, "Did you know people are playing No Pixel RP again?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, what? Really? Go check it out." Oh. So then I'm like, well, maybe I should come back to RP again, because I was still on my like year break. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try it again.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you think this boom is different from the last one?
I do. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. People.
I think it's the characters that attached, not attached, but like meshed with, the Lyric and something. They I don't know. It's just really worked well.
Yeah, super talented people that have been doing this, like you said, for years, and we're already role playing on No Pixel or these other great servers. Just they have these established characters and storylines that have been refined over years. And yeah, as soon I remember like interacting with Lyric like 6 years ago when he was like the biggest streamer on the platform. Your heart is like, brrr, and you're just like, and then the role play might die for some people because you're so overwhelmed. Like I'm talking to Summit right now. I'm like playing a game with Summit right now. I'm supposed to, okay, hold on to it, and you kind of lose the role play, you kind of lose yourself, and then they just drive off, and you're like, shit. So, bleep that out.
I know.
But anyway,
it's late on the bleep.
Yeah, bleep it out. It's late. But anyway, yeah, like that happens to people. But I think again, what Curvy was saying, it people had established characters, and it really meshed well with, it gave them an audience when those larger streamers were interacting with them, and it's just been an incredible explosion this time. Yeah.
And its longevity feels like, it seems like we all understand and accept that it's going to always be a roller coaster to some extent, but it sounds like a lot of people are convinced, and for a variety of reasons, that it won't be dipping back down to what we may have seen before, that it's maybe,
It'll dip.
I think it has to dip, but do you think it'll like maintain a stronger presence, like sort of moving forward for quite a while than it had historically?
Yeah, because just the amount of people that have seen roleplay, maybe for the first time, there's been more of those people now that have seen it, and they're like, I really like this, and that's all I want to watch. Yeah. So it'll definitely go longer now, I think, but it will dip, and it's started. It's already. I've seen it. It's already starting. Yeah.
There's Moon just announced that he was taking a break, and that's a huge. It's like 20,000 viewers. Just not gone, right? But a lot of them are still going to be like, well, I want still roleplay content, but yeah, I'm seeing a couple people kind of like pull back a little bit. And I think his reason was, I saw a clip. He said he was always variety channel, right? And he's kind of going back to his roots, but I think it's smart. Like where you were saying, people should do that.
Yeah.
Also, Twitch chat, I think, got to him, which I totally get that.
Yeah.
That's big frustration.
Wow. Yeah. Absolutely.
Just people trying to like backseat. Like, I love how Twitch chat, they have like a set phrase. I don't know if it's a meme now, but it's always like, if you're with the cop, they're always like, run him over, steal his cop car, kill him, shoot him. It's like, all of these things wouldn't create RP. It would land you in jail and the RP's over, or it's just bad RP.
Yeah, or it might get you suspended depending on how you do it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it's always like run, like all caps. Run,
it's
steal
always
the car.
run. Yeah, run away. Don't stand there. Break the cuffs.
Break the
like you can't. Okay, just watch the show. Okay.
Yeah, like you don't yell at a TV. Like, well, so maybe.
Well, my grandma.
Do you think the GTRP chat is more toxic than you're used to?
Yes.
And
for me,
how do you deal with that? Like, does that affect you when you're RPing?
I usually, so if I run into like a big character and like their viewers obviously come over to see both sides, if it gets too crazy, I let my mods handle it, and then I just close the chat or like minimize it, because I sometimes get overwhelmed if like I go from like 600 to 17. I'm just like, oh god, there's a lot of eyeballs, and I'm a little nervous, so I just close the chat out. That's what I do.
Okay.
I just try not to look at it.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that. One of my characters is a rap character, and of course Moon's character was young Dab, the biggest rap character of all. So anytime I'd be anywhere near young Dab, or chat would try to create a beef between us. Like
That's one thing I want to talk about too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You guys should have a freestyle rap off, and it's like it's not. We're not. This isn't real. It's just like, let's see what happens if and we'd been face to face a few times, and they're like, do it now. Let's have a wrap off right now. I want it. It's like, it's not happening. Just calm down. Like,
It's also
Chat
like
plays
natural,
GTRP.
yeah,
right? It's just
That's right.
things are supposed to happen naturally, and it's just so annoying when people try to force things like, well, why don't you call this person? Why don't you do this? It's because like my character wouldn't do that. So like, why would I do that?
yeah, just to please chat, just because you want it to happen, doesn't mean it's gonna happen. And yeah, and also if you're interacting with another, if you have like a negative interaction, not actually negative, but if it's like not a good interaction, their chat might come over and be mean to you, and you're like, it's real. Lots of swearing, lots of this and that.
Yeah.
It's basically the same as killing Shroud. Not Shroud, because he can't die. It's like killing another big streamer in a video game like PUBG or something. Like you kill them, oh my gosh, you're the devil and everyone hates you. And it's like, you killed my favorite person, and people just don't understand that things happen. It's not personal, and especially in RP, it's not personal.
Right.
Oh.
But
We're
chat
all
kind
friends.
of disconnects, I guess.
Yeah, there's very few. Sometimes it can get heated outside of the game. It depends on disagreements with rules or something, but for the most part, we're all friends. You know what I mean? Like, it's just we're just actors in a story. Like, it's actors that are enemies in the movie aren't necessarily actors in real life. So
I think
forgets that.
Yeah, I think as a streamer, it's important to be prepared for that. Like, be prepared if you're interacting, even if you're just interacting with someone like Summit, you will get people in your chat that's like, hey, you're talking to Summit, and they're just flooding your chat, and like they will be invested in whatever's happening, and they may say some dumb crap. So when you're streaming in these situations, realize like even though you probably understand the difference between you role playing and like outside relationships, Twitch chat don't often get it, and they're gonna come in and they're gonna say some things, and just don't let that get to you. Realize like you just keep your cool and be prepared for those type of situations that may happen.
Yeah.
I do want to know more about beefs.
Well, it comes from a cow. It's in-game beefs. I mean that.
Yeah, and like, and
there's
what
so
that you guys have had to manage like over a longer period of time, like working through that, and then also like kind of maintaining a healthy attitude, right? The as yourself playing the character versus you as the person, and knowing who's on the other side and stuff.
Well, I had that ongoing beef with this pimp character who just he owns a record label and all this stuff, and my rap against my rap character. So every time he saw me, he'd like dangle me off a building, and then my character got tough and he'd stand up to him. So then then he did a drive-by. I did an outdoor concert and he did a drive-by, and he was like, that happens within the story, because there's a lot of criminal characters. That's something that's always a constant with role play. I'd say the majority of people are some sort of criminal, because you can be. And it's kind of exciting and fun, like stealing everything in Skyrim, right? So, a lot of people want to play a role that they, maybe isn't something you do in real life. But so yeah, that kind of thing happens. People dislike each other. Their characters just dislike each other. That's a real thing that happens. Yeah. So yeah, and you just manage it. You just, it's part of the story. So that your character doesn't like that person. And it can change, right? You could make up and be friends the next day in the game. It just depends on what's going on. All the other elements, all the other stories, how they all intertwine. It's really incredible.
Yeah, it's super intricate. Like, I've been blown away watching GTRP. I'm an avid GTA RP fan, so like.
Are you, loco?
Yeah, like I mean, it's just kind of crazy. The quality, and I think that's why there's a lot of lasting power with this recent boom because of the quality of the RP that's been going on. I mean, Mike, you do something that's like so unique. Like, can you talk about what you've been doing with GTRP?
Yeah, please do.
Well, yeah. So again, like I've been doing this for a long time in role play, but just the ability, like some of the technology that's come out has allowed me to do it a lot more interestingly and better. And making sure everything's all legal too, in terms of music. So I found a way to integrate. Before I really got back into GTA roleplay, I was big into Twitch Sings. I've been helping them test that, and Curvy knows all about that too. And they came out with, you were able to make your video source full screen, and I'm like, wait a minute, can I put GTA as my video source for Twitch Sings? So I have Twitch Sings as my actual game that I'm playing, but I'm also playing GTA in the video for Twitch Sings instead of my camera. It's GTA. You'd see GTA here. And I figured out how to do it. So when I'm singing those concerts, the real benefit to me is that I'm covered, like the licenses are all bought for those songs. I'm not playing like YouTube in the background. This is Twitch Sings. It's all the licenses are paid for. It's all above board. But also I have GTA on the screen and the lyrics are on top of the screen, you know, for the song. So I'm playing Twitch Sings and GTA at the same time. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing lately with these concerts. I'll find a stage in the city and set up a concert and do it's essentially karaoke singing. I might bring in my guitar every now and then for a solo or something. But yeah, so that's
your actual guitar.
Yeah,
that you perform live
yeah,
during the concert that you're putting on in GTA.
Yeah. And I'm standing near my keyboard the way I do it now. So I move my character around like they're singing and dancing and stuff like that as well. And then yeah, so that's probably the major thing. I also do rap concerts as well, do some freestyle rap, but that one's easier to facilitate that kind of a concert. But yeah.
And also like DJing and like radio show.
Oh yeah,
hosting?
the radio thing too. Yeah, I forgot about that. So a few really talented people put together just like a radio, like an internet radio station, just like any other internet radio station. So it's real. You can go to the website, listen to it anytime. Mostly it's just Young Dab on a loop, but it's there. And they asked me to manage it. So I started using it to perform my concerts on there as well. When I'm doing a concert, I'll also be broadcasting to that, and people can tune in to that internet radio station in the game. They can pull up their phone in the game, go to a tab on the web browser in the game, and it pulls up the internet radio station. They can put their phone away and it plays in the background. So
that's insane.
Yeah. So, but then if I can't get into the server, or sometimes even when I do, I have a character, Big Joe Colorado. He's a radio DJ, and I will do like a whole radio show where I'm the DJ, the music. Like I'll just make up music with royalty-free music in the background, just make up lyrics and make up songs. I do the ads. I do the weather guy in the weather.
Yeah, you're doing like top to bottom ads too. You're like,
and
you're
the
talking
advertisements I make up on the spot. Yeah, so that wrecks my voice because I'm talking and singing nonstop for like, I do it for about an hour and a half, and then I just can't do it anymore.
That is insane.
It's so intense.
It's fun. It's fun role play. Yeah, it's good improv stuff.
Yeah, so that like the amount and the quality of the role play that is happening this time, like I don't see GTRP becoming completely irrelevant for a long time, like compared to the last boom. Like it may decline a bit, and that just depends on the characters that stick around and stick through with it. Do you guys have any last thoughts or tips for streamers that want to get into GTRP?
Tips.
Words of wisdom.
Yeah, like especially starting out, I think. There's so many people who are so interested in it, but probably feel, a little.
It is
it
is very overwhelming actually for people who've never done it. Yeah.
Because you have the pressure of like, somebody trying to start something with you, and then you're like, what do I say? I don't want it to be lame. People are watching on the other end. Or my end, whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess just practice. I
Yeah.
know there's like improv groups and stuff you can join, so that probably would help a lot.
Yeah.
That's absolutely the best advice, is to practice. And you can, like I said, anybody here could download. It's 5M is the name of the program, spelt out 5M, like all one word, 5M. And you can download it and go on those public servers I talked about. Now, be careful if you're streaming, because people they're not stream friendly all the time.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a risk. Do it off stream. And that's the best way to practice, in my opinion. Just do it off stream if you're a streamer, but go to one of these, the links in chat there, go there, download it, go on a public server and just talk to people. Just practice talking to people and in character, be a character and see how it goes. That's the best way to get started. I tell people that every time. Just go on the public servers and try it. You may hate it. You may. Some people don't like it because it is a lot of pressure. And then if you're a streamer on top of that, you've got like we say, we kind of not ignore alerts, but we address them later. It's a whole different skill set you've got to bring into streaming on top of the skill set of role playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you also have to micromanage like situations. If you want to make it more intense, you have to on the fly find a good song, or like go into first person, or
exactly.
add the little movie lines to your cast.
Exactly.
Bunch of stuff.
Not get AFK kicked in the middle of a song when 100,000 people are watching.
Oh, that sounds rough.
Yeah, that was a bad time. So anyway, yeah, it was there's a lot you have to know and understand. Start slow, start on the public servers, off stream, get better at that and get comfortable with it, and then start, working that into the rest of your stream. Or if you don't stream, just get into it, apply to some awesome servers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to do some shout outs. Curvy, if you want to tell us where we can find you and what you're up to.
You can find me Curvyllama everywhere on the internet, pretty much. Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, everything. What am I up to? Tonight, I think I'm going to be doing Layers of Fear, since that just dropped.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, super excited for that. And then some Dauntless after.
Nice.
And yeah, that's it.
What about you, Mike?
You can find me, MikeTheBard, on Twitch, MikeTheBard on Twitter, MikeTheBard Twitch on Instagram. And that's confusing. And yeah, Mike is a very common name, so it's rough. And MikeTheBard on YouTube. And I'm up to a lot of GTA RP.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah. Yep. That's it.
Hi, Hunter.
Hi.
Where can we find you, Hunter?
Not immediately on Twitch, outside of right here every Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific for this very show, because I am on I'll say a brief streaming hiatus that has been really intense and exciting and very good for me. So where you can find me pretty constantly is on Twitter at @TheHunterWildTV. I'm also on Instagram at @TheHunterWild. And I'm up to many secret things that I'm incredibly excited about. I don't have much to report because so much is top secret right now. It's very invigorating. I am co-owner here at Streamersquare alongside the wonderful, brilliant, insightful, wise, magnanimous, gregarious, beautiful, incredible Loco.
This is not necessary.
It gets longer every time. Every time there's like a new 2 words that get in.
Great title. Breaker of
Esquire.
Chains. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Loco. I am on Twitch and Twitter. LOWCO on Twitch. Loco2525 on Twitter. I am playing a Plague Tale right now. So I'm working my way through that. So I'm excited to keep playing that. Also got to check out Mordhau, I think, this week. I play pretty much everything and talk a lot on my chat. We do a lot of talking. So yeah, if you guys enjoy this content, we are here every Monday doing the stream scene on this channel. We've got a show tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for the Stream Doctor, which I highly recommend you guys check out if you guys want some more tips to improve your channel and
That's
ask
so
questions
good.
about streaming. Provided my internet doesn't randomly get cut out at exactly 4 p.m. next Tuesday. That happened last week. It was so random. But yeah, so you can find me there tomorrow, and we have a couple shows here on the Twitch channel. We are on Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Streamersquare, pretty much everywhere if you guys want to find us on all the interwebs. And yes, we do put this on podcasting platforms, so check out the stream scene on your favorite podcasting platform, and we got the episodes up on there. So thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We will be back with the stream scene. Actually, we are not going to be back with the stream scene next week because it is E3. No, it's not. No, wait.
that's
No,
not-
okay,
that's
never
not
mind.
today.
Okay, wait, we are going to be back with the stream scene next week. Never mind. I don't know what day it is.
Yay.
Okay, psych. Got you guys.
Got him.
Got him.
I'm way too excited for E3. Okay, we will be back next week. Never mind. But we will be doing E3 coverage. I guess we can announce that we will be doing E3 coverage. We are working on the schedule. You will see some awesome streamers here for that, for a very special 2 days of coverage. So we'll have more information about that on our Twitter
It's gonna be good.
in the next week or so. So tune in for that. Really excited. Obviously, I'm really excited for that. We'll see you next week for the stream scene. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, see you later.
Bye.
Bye, my friends.